President Trump, has said U.S. munitions are virtually unlimited.
Because he went up, down, left, right, A-B start, and he's like, unlimited lives,
That's
baby.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Contra. Yep. He did the cheat code, my friend.
He did the cheat code. Virtually unlimited.
Now we got unlimited munitions. You didn't know you had a cheat code on life, huh?
Like Call of Duty. Hacker. He's a hacker. He's cheating, using cheat codes. He's got unlimited weapons.
Are you ready? Damn, it's already.
Yeah, play that funky music, white boy.
Two Marines, one damn mic, talking sense and straight senseless all night. This is Sense and Senseless.
Welcome back to the Sense and Senseless Podcast. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Jason.
Yes, Jason.
Yes,
for all you old fuckers, y'all know what that is. Jason.
Friday the 13th, baby.
It's your first time joining us. Welcome to the family. We're just two guys talking about real shit going on in the world in a way everyone can hopefully understand. All right, in this episode, we're going to discuss the war in Iran, how the Houthis are trying to choke off Saudi's oil exports, the state of America's munition stockpiles after months of intense fighting, how our oil reserves stack up against China and Russia, and whether those two are just sitting back waiting for us to overextend ourselves.
Gas prices are up again.
They're going up. Then we're going to talk about the lobbying machine and why the system is set up the way it is. All right, well, please like, share, comment, subscribe. We appreciate every one of you. Jason? Guy either?
I didn't know we were still in are we in a war with Iran?
I say yes. I mean, we've been bombing them, I think, 11 days straight.
Oh, I thought we were done with that. Sorry.
No, we were. But then we wasn't. Then we were. Then we wasn't. Then we were. Then we were. Then we wasn't.
It's like a bad marriage.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. They had the what is that? That hall sex?
That hallway sex where you pass each other and say "F you."
Yeah, that's where we're at with Iran right now.
Yeah.
We're getting to the violent portion of the hall sex. But basically, we're just going back and forth, tit for tat. And Trump's talking about up in the ante. He's stating that if we're gonna we're gonna start destroying their bridges and power plants for every vessel that Iran attacks. And he says he's even talking about striking Tehran. And then Iran basically says, "Okay, let's do this shit." And Israel, I don't know. Some people say, even Trump, that they don't want Israel involved right now, but Israel's just sitting back and just letting us lead the way of their fucking war. We're stuck in this shit with no good way out. I don't know, man. If there was a good way out, we'd have probably already taken it, right?
Yeah. I like when they threaten Iran. I just got a vision in my head, and people, please bear with me on this one. It's like watching paraplegic basketball. Listen to me. As when people aren't paralyzed and you watch them playing basketball and they flip over in their chair and you're like, oh crap, wonder if he got hurt. He's already freaking paralyzed, people. And that's how Iran is. I mean, stop threatening them with shit. They're like, we already live in a shit box. You think you're going to make it worse by dropping bombs on it? Okay. I mean, we don't need bridges with camels and sorry.
I like your analogy, but I thought paraplegic meant that all four limbs didn't work.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Paralyzed. That's why when you said paraplegic, I was thinking that there's just people out there in a wheelchair, just fucking torsos just riding around with a ball.
No, that's they filled in the category. I was like,
how the fuck they play basketball?
The whole paraplegic they can be any form of paralysis is considered paraplegic. You're like the dude with the thing. Like, sorry, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. They blowing
in a fucking tube playing basketball. Like how the fuck?
Hey, sorry.
Hey, I never said I was smart.
Hey.
You know? So when you said that fucking, yeah, exactly.
You're going to have to cut that out.
I ain't cutting that out.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
that.
know you're not going to cut that out. Jeez. Lord have mercy on me tonight.
All right.
Dang, man.
All right, so we'll move on from that real quick then. So what does a wind look like?
It ain't blowing in a tube in a wheelchair. I know that.
We've been told multiple times that Iran has lost this war and we've decimated them. You know, we obliterated everything that Iran has to fight with.
Once again, they were decimated before we went over there. I mean,
yeah, and they still fighting. I mean, we did everything to them, and I don't know. And we're told that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, but we're also told that we obliterated their nuclear stockpile last year. So I don't know what the fuck's true in that. So what's the end game? I mean, Trump has said in the past that the end game was zero uranium and unconditional surrender. Then they talk about maybe they can have nuclear capabilities for energy. So what is it? Is this, you know, I get that we're not privileged to all the conversations that they have in the White House. I get it, you know, but I don't really think they have a plan for an end game. I just don't. I think this is what I think. I think our war games that they played out in the war room, in that war room simulator didn't work in real life. And now our leaders are.
I think people like freaking what's his name that passed away from South Carolina.
Oh, Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham. I think people like that got Trump. Well, and probably BB too. Somebody's got pulling strings, right? And we were talked into going and doing this, and it was a bad decision.
Oh, I think it was definitely a bad decision. And I don't really think that we can't. You know, I joke a lot about us, and like even you, we're blowing up the sand over there, right? We're just blowing up the sand. But I really think that if we wanted to, we have the military to where we could destroy Iran. I mean, we have the capability of doing that. Why we would want to do that, I have no idea. And I think that would really look shitty to the world if we went over there and just took some humongous bombs, you know, and just flattened Tehran and all that shit. I don't think it would end well for us if we did that because the world would hate us.
Right.
But I don't know any other way to get out of it without putting boots
other
on
than
the ground.
Just to pack your shit and say we're sorry, we should have never been here in the first place. And I don't understand why we can't. Why can't we say that we messed up? Is it? I would respect him.
It would save us
be a lot
lives.
cheaper, and I would have a lot more respect for the administration just to say, just be transparent and say we screwed up. We should have never went over there.
Well, people today just can't admit they're wrong anymore. You know, they just gotta. No one, you know, admit it's shameful to admit you're wrong and do the right thing.
It's like a marriage, Brian. You know, if people would just learn to be transparent and admit their faults and try to get better, marriages work a lot better.
But right now, this is the king. It's the king of the world.
Oh, the king. Yeah, I forgot.
You don't have to ask for anything.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention that this week, Trump said that he was going to allow Saudi Arabia to have a nuclear weapon.
Sweet.
Yeah. Huh?
Isn't that where the cats came from that ran into the tire?
I'm glad. I thought the same thing. So I had to look it up just to make sure that we were correct. And it says, while the 9/11 Commission report concluded that there's no evidence that the Saudi government as an institution funded al-Qaeda, it did find that 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi nationals. Osama bin Laden was Saudi-born. Some hijackers received money, housing, and help while in the United States from Saudi donors and charities with Saudi government links. So technically, the Saudis didn't have any direct involvement with the attack on the U.S. on 9/11.
But they were all from Saudi.
Yeah, but that might be fucking true, right? But technically, the Saudi government had nothing to do with 9/11.
Didn't do nothing.
I just said didn't do anything. So they didn't have a hand in it, technically.
Technically.
Well, let's just put it this way. If the Saudi government even knew there was a plan to attack the U.S., because if they had all those people involved and it was all coming from Saudi and they had any kind of intelligence, they would have known that. They should have at least let us know prior to the attack. And if you didn't, you're still complicit, right?
Where would the fun have been in that to let us know? What about Israel knowing about the Beirut bombing? They knew that was coming and didn't say nothing to us.
Oh, I'm not saying that Saudi didn't know or didn't know and didn't tell us, but if you're
new to listening to us and you listen to this whole thing, we thank you, but we'll just let you in on a little secret. We don't fully agree that it happened. It played out the way it played out. I mean, I think there was some means that needed to be done overseas, and they needed America to come together and support that. And we got to get the full United States on board with this. So how do we do it? We make it look like they attacked us. That's what I think.
I agree with you, but given that and thinking that way, should Saudi Arabia be allowed to have a nuclear weapon?
No, ain't none of them over there should have one, man, because like I said.
Like kids running around with scissors over there.
Yeah.
Take right, you ain't gonna have that.
It's just like criminals over here, certain people that don't get to have guns after they've committed a felon or different things, right? That's your punishment.
No nuke for you.
No nuke for you.
No nuke for you. Go.
The nuke Nazi.
Yeah, no nuke for you.
Instead of the soup Nazi, we're the nuke Nazi. No nuke for you.
Next.
Get out.
All right.
Cheeseburger.
Pass it. All right, let's talk about our munition stockpiles.
Do we have those too?
Well,
somebody's making hand over fist on this shit. I'll tell you that because we're going through a lot of stuff.
I don't have any inside knowledge on any of this shit, but this is from the best information I could find online. And maybe they have more out there that proves what I'm about to say wrong, but this is what the fuck I found. That's how I'm going to preface this. So the U.S. entered the Iran conflict with already strained stocks from years of support to Ukraine and defending Israel and the Gulf partners, right? But our commander-in-chief, President Trump, has said U.S. munitions are virtually unlimited.
Because he went up, down, left, right, A, B, start, and he's like, unlimited lives.
That's
baby.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Contra. Yep. He did the cheat code, my friend. He did the cheat code.
Virtually unlimited.
Now we got unlimited munitions. You didn't know you had a cheat code on life, huh?
Like Call of Duty hacker. He's a hacker. He's cheating, using cheat codes. He's got unlimited weapons.
The Department of Defense officials have said sufficient munitions are available. And they keep, of course, all this classified, so none of us can really know.
They're not going to tell us.
But independent analysts disagree with this status of munitions.
You don't say.
No, you don't say. All right, so most of the assessments we're about to cover have come from CSIS, which is the Center for Strategic International Studies. This is a nonpartisan think tank and research organization in D.C. Now, according to the CSIS analysts, supplies are running low but have not reached a critical level. The U.S. has depleted its missile inventories, but still has enough to continue fighting under any plausible scenario. The real risk is future war against a peer competitor like China. A ceasefire in the spring helped somewhat. Replenishment rates remain low, roughly 15 new Tomahawks and 20 new Patriot missiles per month, with no THAAD deliveries forecast in 2026.
No THAAD?
No THAAD.
Man, we're out of stock on THAADs.
We're out of that. Yeah, it's going to take a few years to get some.
I went to order one that said out of stock. Like, shit.
Did you check your local store, though? You can check other stores to see.
But did you see the Dow?
Did you see the Dow? CSIS estimated it would take 3 or more years to rebuild inventories to pre-war levels. Just 3 or 4.
I'm going somewhere else.
A former Pentagon comptroller put the full replenishment timelines at 2 to 5 years for most systems. One defense expert noted that as of mid-July, Congress had not yet appropriated funds to replace a single missile. Overall assessment today is that the stocks of critical precision-guided munitions and missile defense interceptors are pretty depleted. The Iran operations created or widened a window of vulnerability. All right, so that's what is about our pre-war levels. But what has the Pentagon said? Officials from the Pentagon have stated sufficient munitions existed for plausible Iran scenarios, but officials treat exact figures as operational security. The government is ramping up production, but new deliveries face long lead times, often 2 to 4 years. So what is the answer? Well, according to the Pentagon, it is a $1.5 trillion budget. They want another $500 billion added to their budget.
Billion.
Billion. Would you think it'd pass a fucking audit? I would stand behind this.
I know.
But damn, how much money we got to lose before we hold these motherfuckers accountable?
The Pentagon dude just be spinning it like a damn, like we were talking. I'm not naming any names now because we're recording, but the people we were talking about early, you know what I'm saying? They just spinning it like it's crazy. Like they'll never, because you can't shut down defense. You can't shut down.
Exactly. And for those of y'all that the first time listener might not know, the Defense Department hasn't passed an audit since it became mandatory in 2018. All right. Now you got to figure out your fucking taxes every year to the fucking penny, right?
Yeah.
But the Pentagon,
they ain't gonna do crap.
They can go tell you go fuck yourself. And they, just like you said, they know why, because they know you're going to stand behind the troops. You're not going to tell them, we're going to cut your budget, because we want the best for our troops. We love our country,
Right.
And we love
even though they did when we were in there, we were told they were cutting shit all the time. Yeah.
But I mean, we love the men and women that protect us.
Yeah. When we want them to have the best equipment and the best gear and the best weapons and all that. So yeah. Write a check. You know where our munitions are? They're with the COVID ventilators.
I forgot about the COVID ventilators.
Every time you were talking about that, I was like, it sounds like the ventilators back in COVID.
Oh, yeah, where did all
I know they say we don't have any ventilators, but we got a bunch. We got warehouses full. That's what Trump was saying. We got,
but he was building all of them. Didn't he get like a car?
Yeah. He built some in his Oval Office. He had a little kid in there. He was building ventilators every day.
But after he built them all, they didn't need them, so they never showed them.
Yeah. They're beautiful, though. I heard they're beautiful.
They're the best.
They're the best.
They're the biggest, best. They're the beautiful. They're most.
They got ventilators that'll run 6 people at a time. And aren't we giving Ukraine Patriot missiles?
What did we do with the ventilators? We send it to the same place that fucking makes those things that milk cows.
Yeah.
So that's the only mold they had left. So it put to 6 people.
Yeah.
I'm going way off topic.
Sorry. Squirrel.
Well, where does all that money go? And evidently, it's not for what we want, and to protect our country.
Right.
Since 2020, we, the taxpayers, have given the Pentagon somewhere between $5.5 and $5.8 trillion. All right. Hold on. I just thought about this. Since 2020, we have given the Pentagon $5.5 to almost $6 trillion. How many wars we had since 2020? Us, the United States.
None.
So where's all our fucking munitions? All this fucking money we gave them. Why are we low on anything?
Probably Israel, probably Ukraine, because we give it away, dude.
That is, oh man, that's my point, right? Man, it just makes me mad because now he wants $500 billion more of our money.
Well,
because
I know Yeah, and I know you're fixing to talk about the two powerhouses, the other two
Yeah.
powerhouses, and how they do stuff. Dude, they would take like 4 states and just wipe them out and use those for stockpiles. Like 4 states worth of ground of just nothing but bunkers and warehouses full of freaking missiles and munitions and military stuff.
And
they don't care.
Is in somebody's bank.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous when you think of it that way.
Yeah. I remember when I was in the Guard, we go on the range every year, same as the Marines, but they were worse on the Guard. They would sit there, like you try to sneak some rounds, because they'd only give you a set amount for the qualification, right?
Yeah.
Well, come on, man, give me more. So I'd get back in line and get it. And if they catch you, they'd be like, man, come on now. Like, dude, are we hurting? And you had to go pick brass up because they wanted to reload that stuff.
Yeah, we had to pick brass up. They quit giving us rounds in Japan.
Yeah.
Except on the firing line, because one of the guys, a sergeant, ended up shooting himself in the fucking porta-john in the berms. You just heard a round just go off like what the fuck?
That's the worst death right there. I mean, because if you took your life in a Marine porta-john, that's, and I'm not making fun of this, dude. That's nasty.
That's nasty.
Now, you were really suffering if you went in there and committed suicide. I mean, just to go in there was pushing committing suicide to begin with, much less putting a weapon. Ugh.
All right. So in 2024, the last audit I found for the Defense Department, the Pentagon couldn't account for their $824 billion budget. And then they just voted to add support for Israel and our mandatory spending. I don't know. I'd like to see our return on investment, but I'm pretty sure we're getting fucked on this investment. But again, we want to protect our troops. We want to make sure they have everything they need. We love them. So they use that against us, you know? And remember just last week, we was talking about those 155 millimeter artillery shells that we spent, nearly $500 billion on. Nothing ever come out of it. I mean, they made some shit. It wasn't worth the fuck, so you couldn't use it. Right. Where'd that money go? We don't get a refund on that? And that's just a small piece that we know about.
You know, it reminds me of child support. Like when your ex-wife tries to jack your child support up and you're like, this is ridiculous. And she's like, well, you don't love your kids? You don't want your kids to have the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
I know I'm getting fucked, but you do. Yeah. I mean, and you do everything you can.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you can.
Well,
but
that's what our government does to us. They throw that over our head. Do you not want to take care of the troops? How about we not put them in stupid ass situations? That's how we take care of them guys.
Oh yeah. It's just imagine the scale of wasted money just in the Defense Department. That's just one department. I mean, it's a big chunk of change, but it's just one department. I mean, that right there tells you that our politicians and our government bureaucrats don't give a flying fuck about you. All they're doing is want to line their pockets. For us not to have the weapons we need in the time that we fucking need them, that means that we're not preparing ourselves for anything. All we're doing is looking at the almighty dollar just fucking passing through their hands. They don't give a shit what we have to actually protect ourselves. Most of them already have a bunker and shit in place should something fall out, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, if we rated our government like a business, dude, they would be in the top 5 worst businesses ever. I mean, they would have already bankrupt. They wouldn't even make it a year without being bankrupt and falling apart.
Boy, can you imagine how corrupt their HR department would be?
Oh, gosh.
I wouldn't even imagine that. Oh, man.
Yeah, that'd be a nightmare. HR nightmare.
So, I mean, am I wrong for being mad that we don't have the munitions that we need to protect ourselves, yet alone be over across the globe?
I'm nervous unless we're hiding stuff and really got a tight lip on it, that this CSIS can't even get a little inkling of intel from. They're talking to some inside people. There's some people probably leaking shit out to them.
Yeah.
If they're running this kind of report, they're getting some kind of information.
They have something. Yeah. They have something.
So it makes me nervous. This shit just don't make itself. So unless you see all these factories rising up and building this stuff.
Well, I did see that.
Where's it coming from?
Somebody in the
does it have a shelf life?
That was the other thing, shelf life. But I did see that somebody in the Trump administration had mentioned that they were reaching out to Ford or maybe General Motors or something about munitions. I don't know how true that is. If we already going to that, I don't know.
I just bought a Ford Raptor with a freaking rocket launcher on it, baby. Yeah.
But if they are reaching out like that tells me right now we're in a critical spot.
Yeah. Isn't that what World War II was? They converted a lot of regular factories into munition factories and things for building military gear.
Because they wasn't making a lot because they putting their money back into the people instead of the military after the Depression.
Right. I forget. Yeah. Shoot. Vietnam or somebody said there was a chance that you may grab a M16 and pull the handguards off of it, and it was made by Mattel or Tonka or some of them toy factories, right? Because of the plastic on them.
Yeah.
It was because like Vietnam or something, when they came out, they couldn't keep up with the production. So they had to entice these other companies that were good with plastic and all that and sent them the molds to mass produce those to help keep them going. You know what I'm saying? I remember that now. I was like, man, that just clicked in my mind when we were in the Marine Corps. Somebody said that there might be a time that you see when you're breaking your M16 down, you might see a toy factory.
Man, I had Tom the Reed was inside my M16 handguard. Oh, done.
I put out a good tidbit, a good nugget of information there, and you're like,
that was a good nugget of information. I never heard
I got
that
your
before.
nugget, and I just threw it back in the damn ocean of nuggets. Shut up, fucker.
Oh, well. All right, so how
Did
does
I say
this...
talk? Did I shut your mouth?
Speak when spoken to, freak.
If I want any lip off you, I'll scrape it off my zipper. Now drop down and give me 20.
All right. So how does all this shit compare to Russia and China? And
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to bore everybody with the numbers, but these are some of the comparisons. So it says that Russia excels in mass conventional munitions, artillery dominant, and has demonstrated rapid wartime production increases, allowing it to sustain high expenditure and rebuild stock. It outpaces the U.S. in raw artillery volume, but trails in advanced precision systems. China holds the broadest advantage in scale and production speed across missiles and munitions with proactive arsenal growth. It poses the greatest long-term challenge to the U.S. stockpiles in a peer conflict. And U.S. maintains qualitative superiority and is actively ramping production funding, but faces longest recovery timelines due to complexity of its systems and prior commitments. All right, so if we end the Iran conflict, I mean, this would help us, get our munitions up. Mm-hmm. And our munitions are superior weapons, but having munitions to keep fighting is the thing. So you can have the most superior weapons, but if you don't have any, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And I think the U.S. really understands this. And I say that because it was late this afternoon, actually, I read this article and I threw it in here. Where's this article from? TWZ. It came out yesterday, and it says that the Pentagon is ordering the older style Patriot missiles from Raytheon. These missiles haven't been ordered in 20 plus years. All right. So they have the PAC-2 missiles, and that predates the PAC-3 of what we have now for the Patriot missiles.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is they still got a long lead time on the PAC-2 missiles. So it still might be a year before we get those.
Right.
But I should also note that it was mentioned in this article that the House Armed Services Committee asked the Secretary of Army to provide a briefing no later than March 1st, 2027, on the Patriot interceptor inventories. They want to know the capabilities and limitations of both the PAC-2 and 3, as well as the current stockpile levels, planned deliveries, and an assessment of the inventory. And they also want any recommendations to address shortfalls. So all that leads me to believe that our munitions are low, or at least lower than we would like. You know, I mean, am I looking at that wrong?
No.
I don't understand why they're giving them till March 1st, 2027.
I don't know.
You know, I need to know exactly why we don't have what we need right now, but I'm going to allow you to research that for the next 8 months, whatever. Figure it out. You know, maybe you might find some in the back in the corner of the warehouse or something.
We don't even get that where I work, man. Like the other night I get into work and I get an email stating me and the day shift supervisor, hey, I need you guys to inventory everything and I need it by tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I'm
he
talking,
didn't actually, did he?
Yeah, no.
He didn't request. It's like,
we get told last minute. We don't get no dang 8-9 month chance to inventory our stuff.
Well, you need to go complain to your government HR.
Yeah, I guess.
They might be able to help you out.
I actually like our HR.
No, but the government HR is the one you need to complain to. I'm not talking about
where's
our
that?
HR.
I've never found that government HR.
You got to find the government one.
Remember when you could request masks back in the day? That was
who the fuck was going to do that?
Yeah, you're just asking for the.
Yeah. Just take the ass whipping and move on.
Yeah.
It's gonna be much
the higher you go up in mass, the harder that ass whooping gonna be. You might as well just take the local ass whooping instead of getting jumped.
What they're telling you is, yes, you can ask. You can take this as high as you like. You might not like it,
but the higher you climb, the harder the fall is. So you might as well just fall off the step ladder instead of the mountain there, homie. So
it's probably a little different though now, I would assume.
Oh, dude, the stress cards, and wonder if we get a hold of some of those. I'm gonna look those up.
Is that even real though?
Yes.
Are you sure?
It was. Yes.
I just can't see.
I seen videos of it. This was and I'm telling you, I don't believe it was AI stuff. No, there was.
No, I'm not saying it was. I just can't believe that you would have stress cards. You know, I mean, the whole reason to stress you the fuck out is to break you down to nothing.
Yes, to teach you how to operate in stress.
Exactly.
Because we made fun of, what are you going to do when you're in a firefight with the enemy? Raise your card up and say, could you guys stop shooting for at least 10 minutes?
Yeah, so
I'm stressed out.
I just thought that was like a running joke, that wasn't real, that people, you got the stress card.
Nope, they had a little card or something. I forget what color.
You mean you say they had, so they still do it? They don't
do
it
know
anymore?
They still, let's see.
I'd be mad as fuck if they had stress cards and I was the next platoon going in and they pulled the stress cards. You on the fucking base, you see all these other motherfuckers grabbing his stress cards and you sitting there fucking having to do all these push-ups and shit. Be mad as fuck.
It says, no, the U.S. military does not use stress cards in boot camp today, and there is little credible evidence that they were ever an official widespread policy. The idea of a stress card usually refers to a supposed card that recruits could show to a drill instructor to stop being yelled at or to report excessive stress. This has become a long-running military myth. And here's what is known. I swear to God, I seen it, a lot of this stuff, or heard about it back in the early 2000s. The Marine Corps has consistently denied ever issuing stress cards. Army, there have been stories that some Army basic training units experimented with them.
Yeah, I just could never understand, when people say stress cards, and it's like you can't develop a true fighter like that. You just
This
can't.
sumbitch knows that I was in the Marine Corps in 1993.
But yeah, you talk to it every fucking day.
I never told it that stuff.
You don't have to tell it that. You talk to it.
I know, but Brian, I talk to a lot of people. Just because I talk to them, they don't know I was in the military if I didn't tell them. I never told this thing I was in the military.
That phone can link everything together.
Gosh, it knows I got a 3-inch pecker.
And you tell it everything.
Did you hear? You didn't hear what I said.
Yeah, it said you had a 3-inch pecker. I heard you.
Yeah. You want to see my pecker?
It probably seen your pecker. That's why.
You probably remember him. It's a different environment. Today's Marine boot camp still involves intense physical and mental stress, but instructors operate under more structured oversight and are prohibited from hazing, physical abuse, or unauthorized punishments. They can't do that, Brian. But anyway, sorry, phone's down.
All right, you ready to keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going. Sorry for the squirrel.
Let's talk about the oil.
The oil. Still, do me some research. Find out why gas goes up and down that's in the tank, but the oil on the counter never moves.
I heard a guy talking about that the other day, and he said it's because the gas is sold on a prediction of what they're going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it moves like that. He explained it all, and I'm like, okay, it made sense, but it didn't make sense, so I don't really fucking know.
All right. Well, I would like a little segment of one of our shows.
Well, go ahead and take care of that.
That's not my business. If we get into telecommunications, I will do a segment of that.
Oh, my God. So all of this is mine. Telecommunications.
You hadn't wanted to talk about internet and fiber optics and all that stuff. When you want to talk about that, I'm your dude. You're the oil junkie.
I don't know nothing about fucking oil. I don't care about oil.
You could throw a damn rock and hit a damn oil refinery from your damn house.
That don't mean shit. Somebody lives next door to a fucking hospital don't mean he gives a shit about medical stuff.
Well, I could talk about coal mining, and I've never worked there because I can see the coal chute. I know enough people.
I didn't grow up around here. I grew up with people fucking commercial fish and work on shit. Not in plants where all this other shit goes on.
Gosh, man.
I didn't grow up over here in East Texas.
East Texas. East side.
That's right. All right, let's talk about the oil. All right.
East side, baby.
We discussed many times how our strategic oil level is low, and we use some of this oil to keep the oil prices down while we were fighting for the Strait of Hormuz.
The moose.
Now, currently, China has the largest strategic oil reserves in the world at around 1.4 billion barrels. Billion barrels.
Billion.
This equates to about 100 and 130-day supply for China. Now, currently, the U.S. sits at around 337 million barrels of oil, which equates to about 18 to 40 days of supply as we are right now. So, therefore, China has about 4 times the amount of oil reserves than the U.S. Now, what happens if China is playing the waiting game? What happens if China is waiting for us to commit to boots on the ground, and once we commit, they start shit somewhere else,
Mm.
I mean, right now, we're mobile. Right. I mean, we're about as mobile as we can get. Everybody's pretty much on a boat somewhere. And if we need to go somewhere, we can go somewhere. If we put boots on the ground, we committed.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put a lot of shit behind that to support them boots on the ground. And it takes a lot longer to get off of that. So once we commit, I don't know how much we commit to. We're not just packing up and going, see what the fuck's going on over here. We got to send other, forces in that area. It's really going to split us up. I hope that's not the case. But I mean, what happens if they are just playing the waiting game?
I thought we didn't get our oil from anything coming out of that strait.
We don't.
Okay, so why does that strait have to do with us?
As far as what? I'm talking about oil that's they have right now that they can use. That's something we have to suck out the ground.
I understand.
Okay.
So to me, our reserves, what I think of reserves is we got all these like stacks of oil tanks all over the place, and we got X amount of resource, and it's 18 to 40 days is all it would supply.
That's our strategic reserve. We could add to it as we pulling oil out and processing it, but our strategic reserve, yes.
Right. So if we're not getting from over there, why does that strait have anything to do with our supply? Because we're still getting it from wherever we're getting it from, right?
Technically nothing, but like it's about money.
I understand it makes the price go up, and it's like stock market, like the stocks.
Why
like
do
if
we
somebody
care?
gets nervous about a
company,
company,
that's the only reason why we would care.
Yeah,
is because of the money. It has nothing to do with our survival. We could survive, like you said multiple times. I mean, we would take a hit, but if we just supported ourselves, we could survive.
Yeah, we got enough oil in the ground around us to pull our own and run this country on for years.
Oh yeah,
like a long time.
We could
right?
easily do that. Yeah, that's not the problem.
Yeah,
but I guess the bigger problem is who owns that oil, and who the fuck's running them people,
right?
Because it's the government doesn't own that oil; it's privately owned oil.
Yeah.
Not the strategic oil, but you know what I'm getting at. All those
right,
oils.
and well, then my brain had a epiphany again. Epiphanies and
Epiphany.
Yeah, I dated that girl once.
Yeah,
I dated her once. She was all right. But anyways, if we don't get it from the home or the strait, right? But other countries were, and they can't get it from there, so they start taking it from whoever we get it from too. That person can't keep up with all of us, right? And would that not deplete some of the supply?
Say that again.
Say like make up a name like Country John over here supplying us, and all these other countries are getting supplied out of that strait, and that strait shut down. So John's got to start supplying all these other countries because of the strait being shut down. Now John is being strapped down real hard because he's trying to supply everybody. He didn't have it. He had enough to supply us, but he don't have enough to supply everybody else, but everybody else is hurting. You see what I'm saying? So the cost goes up, the supply goes down because this stuff here isn't. Yeah.
And the demand is about to even go up higher because the supply is about to go down. Because I don't know if you saw that the Houthis.
Yeah,
they're starting to attack the Saudi ships that's going into the Red Sea. So it's like one strait is the Strait of Hormuz, and then the Yabba Dabba Doo, whatever the other one's called, the other strait, where the Yemen people at, where Yemen's at, the Houthis over there. That if they're a Saudi ship, they're shutting it down. They let a couple Chinese ships go through, but Saudi ships, nope, they ain't going through there.
So I guess we're going to run over there and start beating up on the Houthis.
Trump talking about killing them too. I mean, this is all going to drive oil prices up again.
And it almost got under $3 a gallon, and I filled up last night. My work truck, it was $3.80 a gallon. Like, gosh, dang, we're fixing to go on vacation too. Driving to Nebraska.
The exports out of Saudi Yanbu, the oil terminal that we're talking about, it surged to 3.5 million barrels a day in June. That was up from 240,000 barrels a day a year earlier. So that was a 14,000% jump in oil export through that terminal. So since they couldn't get oil through the Strait of Hormuz, they were using that pipeline. We talked about this many weeks ago. They're using that pipeline to go across land, going to this refinery, this terminal, this oil terminal, putting it on ships anyway, will still get it out. So they were making money hand over fist because they were still able to get oil out. But now they're not going to get any of the oil out. Now, hold on, I can't say any because they can still go through the Suez Canal. So that is another route, but I don't think they can run as big of tankers through the Suez Canal. I could be wrong, but the Suez Canal is nowhere near the size of those two straits. So it would still choke up, it would delay oil. If this shit keeps up, like you were saying, John, the island of John, and supporting all, you're going to run into one hell of a fucking shortage of oil.
Oh, yeah.
And then at that point, we might have to start looking at strategic oil. Now when you look at it that way, because we're going to want to sell oil. So,
yeah, why don't we?
Well, we do, but it's not we. It's
it's the Chevron
the
and Mobil. Yeah, it's all them big oil
they don't want to sell oil, but you know what? That's the same ones selling oil overseas.
Yeah,
that's the same companies.
Yeah,
so they don't give a shit where they sell it at. They hope the prices go up.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Saudi Arabia made a fuck ton of money off of, shipping that stuff through the Saudi Yanbu oil terminal. Now that they're cut off, I don't know how happy they're going to be. But Trump stated in a Truth Social post that if the Houthis keep attacking Saudi ships, both the Houthis and Iran will pay the price. Because the Houthis are backed by Iran. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, wonder if we can we not have people put Chinese flags on their tankers and just rock through there?
That's good. False flag.
False flag, baby.
All right. Well, I hope that makes you feel better about the war in Iran.
Oh, I'm going to sleep well tonight. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for. So let's talk about the fucking politicians. I thought about this week. Why do senators fight so hard to keep their jobs? And it can't be their paycheck. So the paycheck's like $174,000 a year. That's good money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say $174,000 ain't good money, but that's not money. Sell your soul.
That's not life changing money. Yeah.
No. Looking at it, I mean, they got the power, they get leverage, they get access, they have perks while serving, so they get their good pension. They have a big staff and travel budgets. They have top tier health coverage, and they treat it like fucking kings and queens. Mm-hmm. And probably the biggest thing, they're able to trade stocks. And this is the part that people find shady. Senators can legally buy and sell stocks while in office, even in the industries that they help regulate. So they have all the information prior to anybody else, and they can make the trades that they want. And it's all legal as long as they report it within 45 days. So here's the fucked up part. Say you are following the Pelosi trend, and I don't do stocks, but probably a good way to go, following the Pelosi trend. But if she don't have to, say it publicly for 45 days, by the time you get on that trend, it might have already went down. So they still, have one hell of a fucking game against you,
Yeah, unless you can get somebody insider that knows what she's doing daily that's leaking that stuff out, you're 45 days behind. You're never going to catch what she's doing.
It's fucked up.
It is, dude. It's like, I don't know. And I'm not trying to take this any further because we try to keep these segments down to a manageable amount of time. But it's like the rumors that the NFL is rigged and scripted. Ever heard that one?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's rumors and it's probably tinfoil hat stuff, but it's like the government scripts. It's like, dude, they're just printing their own money. What did you say? They get a vote on regulations and all, and that drives prices up and down, up and down. You get it down, you buy a bunch, and then you lift those regulations up and let it soar, and then you cash out, and then you do it again, and you just keep doing this stuff. And it's, dude, you're just your parents said, what? Damn, Brian, you think money grows on trees? Politicians know they got money trees out in the backyard.
Well, I mean, look what they've been doing with the oil prices.
Yeah.
Remember all the money that we talked about a few weeks ago about all the money they made when the oil prices just going up and down?
Right. I mean, how many times did you watch a movie in the 80s and 90s dealing with the government that had government in there, and it was like, they are so far-fetched, man. There's no way. And now you're like, oh, shit. That shit was real.
Yeah, it's the one with Will Smith and Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
that one right there fucks me up now because of how they can just follow you everywhere with every camera. It's like that shit was not far-fetched at all. Enemy of the state.
The enemy of the state. Yep. And then anyone that you've seen where the politician is walking down the steps and then there's a limo down at the bottom and the window rolls in and all you hear is get in, and they get in the car and they're getting told what they're going to do and how they're going to do this. And you're like, oh, that's fetched. And then you're like, no, that shit's real now. And it always has been. They were teasing us with it. Maybe they were conditioning us to that.
Probably so.
They were easing the tip in, Brian, so it didn't hurt as bad when we finally realized this is what's happening. And now they're like, what are you going to do about it? Like you said, they're allowed to do this as long as they report it within 45 days of doing it.
And what what's fucked up? That's probably not even where they make their most money and shit.
No.
After they get out of
office.
They're
getting paid off to do shit.
Well, yeah, after they get out of office, most of them become, the good ones become lobbyists.
Yeah. A bunch of your big 500 Fortune, isn't that what it's called? Fortune 500. Sorry, listeners. A lot of them have PAC teams in their company to raise money through the employees, donate right to that PAC for that company, and that PAC team goes to the government and lobbies to get regulations and stuff set for that company to be able to be more profitable. Yeah, our company has one. Our company has one, and they give away iPads and Xboxes and PlayStations, and they have drawings every month, but they want people to donate. The company can't pay money into it, but the employees can. It's illegal for the company to pay into it. I don't do it. I'm sorry. I'm not about paying money to pay people off. I guess that's probably what our tax money's going towards.
What's that?
Paying people off.
Yeah, you can't really prove it, but yeah. Here's a quick.
It's no different than the cops, even down to your local police, Brian. That they seize money and drugs and guns and stuff off the streets. They turn around and put it right back out there.
Put what back out there? The drugs and
yes. Oh, well, we're fishing for the big ones. We're fishing for the big people.
So you think they just giving them, what you mean they putting the money back out there?
They sometimes they'll give it to damn undercovers and things like that
to
go back out.
Yeah.
Yes.
But don't they still have to keep track of all that?
They say they have to. Come on now.
You don't think they have to account for that?
Okay, does the Pentagon, when's the Pentagon passed an audit there, Brian?
No, I agree with you. I'm just curious.
I mean, who's reporting it?
Well, if you are a law officer and you trying to hold me to a certain accountability, I expect you to be above and beyond the accountability you have to hold me to, because that's how it always should be. Anytime that you are over someone or you assuming power over someone, you should be better than that person, period.
Right.
So if your morals are worse than mine, how can you judge me on what I'm doing?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the stuff makes it back out.
I'm not saying it don't. It's just a flawed fucking system, because
it's crazy.
The people are flawed.
We're trying to get this off the street, but you keep recycling it.
All right, let's go over a quick overview of lobbying in Washington. All right. So you take a handful of powerful congressional committees, control big budgets, rules, and policies, and they get treated like kings by lobbying firms just to get your money. Industries pour hundreds of millions into influence every year through top lobbying firms. There's roughly $4 to $5 billion every year spent on lobbyists. And that's just on our federal politicians. Then there's another 1.4 to 2 billion more spent nationally on state politicians. Nearly fucking 4 to 6 billion a year spent on politicians to get your tax money. So I'm going to put that in perspective for you. The United Nations World Food Program estimated that 6.6 billion is needed to provide daily food aid to millions of people facing extreme food insecurity for a year. All right, so we could pretty much solve the world's hunger problem for a year with the money spent on lobbying. Or you can purchase roughly 60 commercial Boeing 737 airplanes on what we spent on lobbying. Or what's spent on lobbying our fucking politicians every year. That's fucking sad.
Imagine if we could buy one of those. We could spend a lot more time together, dude. What
No
are you doing
shit.
this weekend? I'll just fly down there to you, man. We'll hang out.
Yeah, so they got the most lobbied committees are your appropriations, House and Senate. They have the armed services, which you can understand why they're fucking lobbied so much. They just hand money out, hand over fist.
Mm-hmm.
Energy and commerce.
That's a big one.
The ways and means, which is your finance. And financial services, which includes banking. These committees handle trillions in decisions. So defense contractors, pharma companies, hospitals, and insurers target them heavily. But this is what I found that was fucking wild. And I didn't even think about all this shit. You always think about like the pharmaceutical companies and defense industries and all lobbying our politicians. But I didn't realize, and just call me stupid, like all major sports, Major League, baseball, NFL, hockey, NBA, all of them lobby our politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Gambling and sports betting, tobacco, vaping, cannabis, payday lending. I would have never thought that.
I had to use them suckers one time, like back in the day. That takes like 4 paydays to get that thing straightened out.
Well, they call it says payday lending or financial predators.
Yeah.
They said they often called out for high interest loans. They fight caps and regulations. So they're fighting our politicians to be able to ash rape people more and payday lending.
Mm-hmm. Porn?
Well, hold on. We got exotic animal trade and trophy. We got funeral homes.
Yeah, what the hell's up with funeral homes? Never heard of that one.
Balloon and party supply industry.
Where's that shit coming from, dude?
Yes, really. It says, yes, really. They've lobbied against helium regulations and environmental rules on balloon releases. Professional cheerleading or minor sports leagues and porn. All of them lobby out. All these groups give money to our politicians to get your money. I just, everybody that has an industry somewhere is fucking paying our politicians to get business or get some regulations taken off of them. And that is just fucked up.
I know.
And again,
the funeral home one still cracks me up.
Yeah, I mean,
we lobbying for dead people.
Yeah, well, what do you need regulations on funeral home? Is your business that bad?
Unless you're like EPA or something, because of the chemicals and all that.
Oh,
well, no, the chemicals.
Yeah.
Maybe how you have to handle that and all that. Maybe they're like, it's a lot of money or whatever to dispose of the formaldehyde and all the stuff that they pump in you or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't think they had that many people trying to bribe our fucking politicians.
Yeah.
So just think about it. So once you get in that position, I mean, everybody's throwing just money at your feet. Mm-hmm. And so these lobbyists are mostly former politicians or staff, that already know the system. Mm-hmm. And then there's just this big ass revolving door of all this scum that people stealing your money for their benefit. From politician to lobbyist, they can go back to politician. All this shit's legal. Mm-hmm. It's like, how? I mean, the game is fucking rigged as fuck. It's always been rigged. Mm-hmm. The rich have always ruled the masses and the government has always stolen from the people. The only difference now is they don't go door to door to take your fucking shit. It's all stolen electronically.
Right.
Oh, man. Yes. The U.S. it's the closest civilized society ever to being totally free. I mean, I don't know if there's ever been a total free society ever created unless it was well before like any like civilization, maybe like the cavemen
The
or something.
caveman.
Yeah.
Ooga booga.
Yeah, because there's always laws, regulations, and hierarchy, right?
Right.
Now, this is the first video I'm going to play for you this week. This is called The System Created by Society. I think it runs pretty fast, so you might have to listen fast.
When I talk about the Matrix, I'm talking about the systems which have been created by society, which are deliberately designed to enslave. In the movie, the Matrix were used for our body heat, but here in this Matrix, we're used for our efforts and our energies. And you're existing inside of a system which is deliberately rigged to make the rich richer and for the poor to stay poor. You can sit there and get upset about it. You can sit there and cry about it and say the system needs to change, which is what some people do, socialists, XYZ. But I think I know that's a waste of time, right? That's futile. The best thing to do is to understand the rules of the game and find a way to win. So yes, the game is rigged. Yes, the rich are always going to get richer. Yes, the poor are always going to struggle. And that's the way the game is set up. So you still need to find the best move on the chessboard. There's no point sitting there saying, I want to play a different game, because that's never going to happen. Because the people with the money are the people who have the control and they have the power. And why would they have the game set up any other way? Why would they change it? It's also the basic of economics. I think a lot of people don't understand the true basics of economics. And the basics of economics state that even giving money to the poor, that ends up back in the hands of the rich. There's no way to stop the rich getting richer. I've already explained this before. The people who have the assets and have the companies and have the control are always going to end up getting control of the currency and are always going to be richer. So that is kind of how it works. And it's getting worse and worse. We may not see each other again, so make sure to follow this page.
Ain't nothing you can do about it. Just fucking buckle up, buttercup.
Bend over and grab your ankles.
It's true, though.
It is.
I guess whenever you accept it, it's not so bad, but it's hard to accept. I don't boo-hoo about it. It's not like, damn, man, I'm not going fucking, I guess some people that just fucking hate the man, goddamn man keeping me down. Like, yeah, my life ain't that bad.
No.
Yeah, I complain about shit. I'm going to complain about our government and all this shit. I know where I'm at. I accepted a long time ago that I'm just trash. I get it. I never thought I was more than what I am. I'm getting so it doesn't disappoint me to know where I'm at in my life right now.
No. And I think what it is, they just give us a sense of freedom. But it really isn't true freedom. Freedom. What did he say? Crap. Mercy Wallace. Kept trying to tell him to say mercy. And right when they were gutting him, freedom, and the little tear rolled down their eye. Next thing, a war scene. It was great.
Tear rolled down everybody's eye.
I know. I cried a little bit.
Everybody. I didn't cry when Old Yellow died, but I cried when they killed him.
Oh, I cried when they killed his wife, when that dude slammed her up against that post and slit her throat. I was like, oh man, what the hell? Then I knew he was going to go off. Mel ain't putting up with that shit. Anyways.
You ain't no genre goddamn though.
No, he wasn't throwing no roundhouse kicks and that. He get that stuck face out. Like it was.
He always had to throw those hands out.
Yeah, like that.
Or he'd look away.
Like it was exhorting all this force.
He was. You don't know. You don't remember when he hit Chung Lee? Oh, Chung Lee, all his muscles.
Yeah, right in his stomach. He and you see his like that slow mo of all his muscle just vibrating like it was like this high impact. Like when they slow mode somebody getting hit by something and it's that you see all that kinetic force go through him. He was like, and it was like,
right.
Or when that big tall dude that was bear hugging him and he went down in the splits and hit that dude in the nuts and he went, like that. And that guy goes, oh, and he fell backwards. Yeah. It was so dramatic. I love it. But you can't get enough of it. When you see it, you'll watch it, like Tombstone. You can't tell me Tombstone wasn't one of the best movies.
No, I'll watch
Kilmer.
the fuck out of some Tombstone. I ain't watching the fuck out of some Bloodsport. Bloodsport was just too bad of acting. I mean, they even had, what was his name from Revenge of the Nerds on there?
Oh, Ogre.
Yeah, they even had Ogre on there.
Jackson.
He was probably the best actor. You know,
put up your dukes. You Frank Dukes
Frank
and
Dukes.
Jackson. Yeah, you come with me. I show you.
Okay,
Go-
USA.
Okay, USA. That big retarded Chinese dude. Okay, USA. Why you teach him, not me? That young kid they used, like when he was reminiscing, like him breaking in that house and trying to steal that sword. And
I don't remember all that. I remember
his sensei, he broke into his sensei's house with another group of kids. Oh,
that's
dude,
how he ended up working for a sensei.
Well, his sensei's son came in there and whipped his ass, and then he, since the boy stayed and took his punishment, his sensei trained him, or was gonna train him, and then.
At the end of that movie, they showed it was all about Frank Dukes. And then I read not long ago, maybe a few years ago, that all that shit was made up. Yeah.
They acted like that was true. That was a true story.
When you get a chance, Google about Frank Dukes. Let's finish this and I'll let you do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right. So let's keep moving forward. So I said many times, and I know you agree with me, Jason, that despite all the faults we have as a country, I still believe we live in the best country in the world. Just bar none.
We're the best turd in the toilet bowl.
And yes, our government hates you. Yes, the elites don't think of you as a human, but we still have a great country. And it's just up to us to realize this and make sure that our future generations understand that we have something good here. And we need to keep this shit at all costs. And here's a lady describing how she feels about the USA.
Please watch this and share it. Everybody needs to hear this woman.
An American that hasn't lived the terror of socialism will never understand what is going on right now. I don't care if you have a master's degree in whatever. Unless you live it in your own skin, you won't ever understand it. And I think it's terribly disrespectful for anybody to tell Venezuela how we should react to that. I think it's terribly disrespectful to the people that have died, saying that Maduro shouldn't be where he is. If I left my country with just the clothes I was wearing and a little bit of diapers and milk that I had left, don't you dare telling me that this is not a reason for celebration. When I first come into the United States, I cried and had to turn around to my husband and ask him to please help me to open the shower because I didn't even know how to open the shower. When I walked into Walmart and I saw so many options to eat, I couldn't believe myself. Our reality is different. We want to live. And you guys have everything in this country. More than you could ever imagine. And I just wish that you could love it a little bit more. And respect it a little bit more. Because if I had to give my life for America, I would.
Tell me that's not beautiful.
Oh, it is.
True patriot right there.
No, it's because I said it like when I went overseas to Iraq and came back, it changed my outlook.
Oh, yeah.
And I was telling my therapist that the other day. And I got shitty with family and friends and all that because they were sitting there whining and crying about little. And I'm like, you guys have no idea how good we got it. Shut the hell up. Shut up.
Just to be able to sit on a podcast like this and criticize our government.
Hell yeah.
We have a great country to live in.
Yep. And the doggone blood sport.
Damn. Kumite.
Kumite.
Got anything else, Jason?
No.
All right. I hope everybody enjoyed it. It was a little wonky, but we enjoyed ourselves. I think we had fun, huh?
Hey, I haven't laughed. You've had some that we just can't joke and laugh around. So This was good to have one we could cut loose.
All right. Well, I'm glad everybody enjoyed themselves. At least we did. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure spending time with you. Till next time, this is the Sense and Senseless Podcast. I'm Bryan.
I'm Jason.
He's Jason. Peace.
Peace.